This morning, you have it cheering in the Brooks cheering point.
Yes, yes,
you have
yes.
it cheering all the runners who was running the marathon in Transgrancanaria. And how do you feel watching the show from outside?
I love being at events, whether I'm helping out at an aid station, cheering, crewing, pacing. I can be around it and not be like, oh man, I want to be like, so it's exciting to me and it's absorbing the energy and I get inspiration and still like, and it reminds me of the feelings I had when I was racing. And, you know, I still hop into a race here and there, not to like race hard or win, but just to have fun. So I think seeing the race from different, we call them perspectives, is really key. And I've always enjoyed it. I know some athletes, once they're done with their top level racing careers, it's hard to be around. For me, I've always enjoyed it. And I've always, I've help my blind friends now as a guide in races, and it's just so fun to see it through another perspective. And but sometimes I'm like, oh, it'd be fun to be out there, but I know my fastest years are behind me, but the energy is what's amazing, the people and the celebration. That's what events are like here.
You are here, okay, a long career, all this year, as you have said now. But how was your origin, your beginning in running? Why running, and why running ultra marathons?
Yeah, I'll talk more about this tonight. But I didn't enjoy running. I was like what I call a resistant or reluctant runner. I always was like, running kept coming up in my life, and it was like, oh no, I don't like running. I did it just to stay in shape for other sports like Nordic skiing, and it wasn't until I started running on the trails, and it brought me back to being that little kid in the woods who loved to run around on the trails, make trails. I grew up hunting and fishing, and so the connection of like being out in the woods and then combined with running and trail running was this new like, oh, okay, maybe I can enjoy running.
No?
Yeah, and it didn't come easy. So I always tell people like, it can happen to anyone. Like I used to hate running. I started running ultra marathons. So there's hope for anyone, as we say. Yeah.
You have said running is a way to the auto knowledge, no? You have experimented that alone of many times running alone. A lot of days, 46 days.
Yes, especially lately. Yes,
perhaps was the Appalachian the toughest race or challenge in your
definitely
career?
It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I mean, the physical, the mental, and I don't know what other level I was at. It was like unlike anything I had ever experienced, and it was like putting a lifetime of races for 1.5 months, for 46 days. And even though I wasn't like racing each day on a race course with, clock, I was in a sense, because I had to, each day there was, a goal, and sometimes that goal changed, and just every day I was, the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, like you're just going through like and seeing, and it which is what I love about the sport, and everybody gets to experience that. And I think that's really special. Sometimes in life, we have life challenges that put us in a very difficult situation, but it's really special to voluntarily or choose to say, I'm going to go to a tough place. But the benefit is that you come back from it a different person. And I think that inner journey of going and challenging oneself physically, mentally, spiritually, ideally we get a better glimpse of who we are, and each time I get a better glimpse. And I still think I'm doing that in different ways now, and so people always use the word retirement, and I don't know, like I never,
Bueno.
yeah, because do you retire
It's the
from life?
attitude. No,
Yeah, you
no.
retire from life. For me, there isn't like an end point. I want to keep learning, find things that keep my passions, and now I hope to like pass them on to my children. Like,
Yeah.
you know, whether
You
or not
can
they
retire-
run,
you
but
can
yeah,
retire
whether
from
yeah,
that.
you can never retire from that. So it's like finding ways to see it through their eyes too, and hopefully pass on a love for being in the mountains or challenging oneself. Whether or not they run doesn't matter to me, but you know, we have them doing all kinds of stuff, biking and skiing and hiking and just spending time. And I think that's a reminder to me as somebody who has been in a sport for so long, is to find that passion much like a child and hopefully reconnect with that.
No, you continue, you keep on inspiring a lot of people, no? With,
Oh,
with
thank you.
your,
Thank you.
With your attitude also.
Yeah.
So
And it's hard, like writing books, like things I never thought I would do. Like writing is like, yeah, way harder than running the Appalachian Trail, but it is a passion of mine to share the story and share that with others, because running has given me so many things. And yeah, I'm super content, but always passionate about inspiring others and sharing the love for this sport that gave so much to me.
And Scott, you are also having a very commitment with the nature, with the planet, with the sustainability. Which is your vision now? We have a big problem, but are you optimist with the future, with the present? Or?
Yeah, I used to always be a pessimist of like just, and there's some days where it's hard. I mean, having children and seeing what condition the world might be in when I'm no longer on the planet, and it is difficult to think. There's so many problems. There's so much, but I have to have hope, and I think that's the biggest thing, is how can we improve, much like being here with Brooks, and how can we make shoes more sustainable and green? How can we do less to damage the earth, or less materials needing to be used and things like that. So it's hard, like we want things to happen quicker, and I think we just have to keep working on it. So I have to be an optimist, because otherwise it's just really hard. And so my hope is that more people get out in nature, see things, do things to see value. And I think that's what is good about the sport growing. Some people wish the sport didn't grow because they don't, they kind of want it for themselves. It was better when you didn't have to wait years to get into races and there's lotteries. But to give more people an opportunity and more people being interested, I think it's better, because everybody is from different areas of life, different views about the world. But yeah, it's a big issue, and we're a sport that needs these environments. Races now are harder because of things like climate change, or we in the U.S. we have a lot of forest fires, and it's a big issue. And I think by people seeing like, oh, my race was canceled because of a forest fire, like we need to get people motivated to do things and see that.
And
so
most involved also.
yeah, and so like with my work with being plant-based and vegan, I feel like little things I can do to show people like, hey, we can live lower on the planet, maybe not use as many resources, not eat meat as much, or maybe not at all for people. So if we can get people moving in that direction.
A balance.
Yeah, a balance of it,
balance.
and I come from a hunting and fishing background, so I don't like to tell people like, oh, this is the way to do things, but it's hard because in the U.S. we're known not to change. It's like, but I'm somebody who changed, so I have hope, because I never thought I would be a vegan, or much less love running, and there's change, so we just have to accelerate that change.
Okay, pues thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Muchas gracias,
It's been a great conversation. Such a great conversation. It was so good. Yeah, so good.